what led you to go to St. Thomas? Well, that was number one. My father had gone there and always had a good eye. I was a terrible student in high school. Just, he had been gone over, my father was in the 8th Air Force as a medic in England. So my poor mother had 4 kids to take care of, so I wasn't the world's best student. So when I got to St. Thomas, I had to learn all over again how to study. I wrestled in high school, and I was going to be a wrestler, but I found out very quickly that with labs and stuff, you didn't have time to do that. So for 4 years, I was a cheerleader for basketball and football, and had a great time because remember, this was before ladies got there. This was all men. So there was one other guy and myself that cheerled, and that was that. If it hadn't have been for Dr. Knoxheim, I never would have made it to medical school. But he and another a lady teacher, a biologist, Mary Keefe, were the two that kept me on the road to becoming a student. There are 2 priests in my life that made a difference when I was going to school. Father James Lavin probably met us within a day of getting there and made a peanut butter sandwich for us that night. And so that's when he was at his full doing those kind of things. And I was with him, as I say, I had been a server at St. Joe's for years, and so I went on to become on his staff.
What do you think Father Lavin's legacy to you is, as to a young man when you walked out, as to the kind of things that you take away from him and from the place?
Well, that was being prayerful occasionally, and being helpful to others, and concentrating on what you were doing, and there is joy in life, and he was a great purveyor of joy in life.
That's perhaps the greatest lesson of all, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And to this day, I've always tried to be joyful in life. He would listen to us when we'd ask him a question. He would kind of, because a lot of us were sort of, we weren't sure about the church, and we weren't sure about UST as we got in there as freshmen. And he would try and interpret the laws, both of the College of St. Thomas, which was a college at that time, and also the rules of the church for us. So when we were catching hell about something that we weren't supposed to be doing, and wanted to know why, we'd ask Father Lavin or Father Roach. My counselor was a guy by the name of John R. Roach, a fellow that wandered in.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful man, and we just thought the world of him.
Did you want to be a doctor?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I like people, and I always had concerns about people, and even though I was a hellion kind of in high school, but that disappeared as I got into classes and things in which thoughtfulness became more important. I didn't have any trouble at all in medical school. St. Thomas had me geared exactly.
You had a family practice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
and I loved obstetrics. I had delivered lots of babies.
How many babies you figure you delivered?
Everybody asks that question. I really don't have any idea.
But you run into plenty of people you deliver, don't you, in the main street?
Oh, yeah. I suppose 500 to 1,000. I mean, that's a guess.
Doc, what do you got to know when you're a family doctor? What do you learn? How do you got to be? What's the difference between a good one and a bad one?
Well, you certainly have to understand people a little bit, and you have to try and get into their mindset, and you have to try and be gentle with them when there's problems. That's a learning process. Everybody's different, and you approach them all differently if you're any good at all. And you may laugh, you may be serious, you may be thoughtful, you may be a little on the religious side. Everybody has a different buzz button, and that's what you're looking for to begin with. How do I approach this person, and how do I approach his problems? You tried to make them feel better by the time they were leaving, with or without medication. At least you could always think of something that would make you feel a little bit better in this world.
Compassion seems to be the one.
Compassion would be correct. You'd be passionate about compassion. You hope you did a good job with the people that you were taking care of, and you hope that most of them got what they anticipated when they came in the office.
We saw you this year at the Christmas concert. What's it like for you to come back to an event? It looked like you're having a heck of a good time.
I love it. And my one of my grandsons, and I've had three grandsons go through St. Thomas. One of them sang in the some of the concert groups. My son played 4 years of hockey for St. Thomas and was a captain of the squad. And
so it's good to come back and see him.
It is. Absolutely. Love it.
What would you tell somebody is the value of getting involved in alumni activities after they graduate? I mean, kids are coming out of college now or the university, and they got bills to pay, they got student loans to pay off. But saying at some point you ought to think about getting involved with your university again somewhere down the road. Why should they do that?
Well, hopefully university has left a mark on you when you left. There are some things that you like about it. Did it help you develop your career down the road? If it did, then you should have some reason to think, how lucky am I? Who are my professors that did such a great job in helping me get molded into a citizen that's worthwhile?
And how do you keep your mind young and your thoughtful, kind of an optimistic approach? How do you do that?
Because you stay working with the food shelf, you stay working with the hospital groups, you stay working with college groups, young people as well as older people surrounding us. We have parties here forever, and it's fun to talk. And that's why you stay alert, is because you're talking with other people who also are still thinking people, and that's how you keep thinking.
How does it feel to have a four-generation legacy?
I love it. That's very nice. I'm very proud of them. And it just makes me happier that I know that they're going to get a good education. All 4 generations, I know at least 3 generations that have. And hopefully the 4th one will be showing us that they can do the same thing, and are, in fact, showing us.
What does it mean to you to get an award named after Monsignor Lavin?
I'm thrilled to death. I couldn't be happier with the and named for Father Lavin, of course, who was a pretty good friend of mine.